Rain lashed against the windows of the Book Nook, a haven for book lovers. The scent of old paper and brewing coffee filled the air. Sunlight struggled to pierce through the overcast sky. A gentle, comforting silence reigned, broken only by the rhythmic ticking of an antique clock. The day seemed tailor-made for getting lost in a good book. Emma, the bookstore's book editor, perched on a stool behind the counter, her fingers tracing the spine of a well-worn classic. She loved her job at the Book Nook. It was more than just a job to her. It was a sanctuary, a place where stories came to life. A gust of wind rattled the front door, announcing a newcomer. Emma looked up, her gaze falling on a man who seemed as out of place as a sunbeam on a cloudy day. He shook the rain from his leather jacket, his eyes scanning the shelves with a mixture of curiosity and apprehension. Emma took in the stranger's appearance. Disheveled brown hair, kind eyes, and a hint of a smile playing on his lips. She couldn't help but wonder about the stories behind those eyes, the experiences that had shaped that gentle smile. He had a rugged sort of charm, the kind that spoke of late nights and creative pursuits. His scruffy appearance suggested a life lived on the edge of convention, a life filled with music and perhaps a bit of chaos. A worn guitar case was strapped across his back, hinting at an artistic soul. The case looked like it had seen better days, covered in stickers and scuffs, each mark telling a story of a different gig, a different city. The man, who Emma would soon learn was named Alex, wandered through the aisles, his movements unhurried, as if he had all the time in the world. He seemed to be in no rush, savoring each moment in the cozy bookstore. His fingers lightly brushing the spines of the books, he moved with a certain reverence, as if each book held a secret waiting to be discovered. Emma found herself captivated by his presence, unable to look away. He seemed drawn to the poetry section, a place often overlooked by the usual patrons. His eyes scanned the titles with a discerning gaze, searching for something that resonated with his soul. His brow furrowed in concentration as he read a few lines from a worn-out copy of Whitman. Emma watched him, intrigued. She wondered what thoughts were running through his mind, what emotions the words were stirring within him. Men who frequented the Book Nook were usually there for the latest thriller or historical biography, not poetry. It was rare to see someone so engrossed in verse, and it piqued Emma's curiosity even more. There was a quiet intensity about Alex that drew her in, a sense that he felt things deeply. His thoughtful expression suggested a depth of character that Emma found both intriguing and refreshing. A sense that he felt things deeply. It was as if he carried the weight of the world on his shoulders, yet still found beauty in the small moments, like reading poetry in a quiet bookstore.
It's a haven in here. The warm lighting and the smell of old books create a sanctuary from the outside world. The rain outside makes it feel even cozier. It's like the world has slowed down, allowing us to savor this moment.
Emma's heart beat a little faster. She felt a connection, an unspoken understanding between them, even though they had yet to exchange a single word. Emma, it does, doesn't it? She smiled, feeling a warmth spread through her chest. It was a rare feeling, one she hadn't experienced in a long time. Rainy days are made for books and hot tea. There's something magical about curling up with a good book while the rain taps gently on the window pane. It's a simple pleasure, but one that brings immense comfort and joy.
And music. I find that music and rain go together like words on a page.
Emma, surprised by his poetic turn of phrase, found herself smiling. Emma, I can see that. Music can be just as evocative as any novel. Are you a musician?
I dabble. I write songs mostly. Stories set to music, you could say.
He seemed surprised by her interest, his cheeks flushing slightly. Emma, I'd love to hear them sometime. Emma instantly regretted her forwardness. What was it about this man that made her throw caution to the wind?
Really? You're not just saying that? Emma, not at all. I believe everyone has a story to tell, whether it's through words or music.
A connection sparked between them, fueled by their shared love for storytelling. It was as if the universe had conspired to bring them together in that cozy little bookstore, surrounded by the scent of old pages and the soft murmur of rain outside. They talked for what felt like hours, the rain outside fading to a gentle drizzle. The world outside seemed to disappear, leaving just the two of them lost in conversation. They shared stories, dreams, and the little details that made up their lives.
You know, Emma, there's something about songwriting that just I don't know, it just makes me feel alive. It's like every note, every lyric is a piece of my soul. When I write, I feel like I'm truly expressing who I am. I dream of sharing my music with the world, touching people's hearts with my melodies. I want to create songs that people can relate to, that can be the soundtrack to their lives. It's a big dream, I know, but it's what keeps me going.
His eyes lit up as he spoke, his passion contagious. There was a fire in his eyes, a determination that was impossible to ignore. It was clear that music was not just a hobby for him, but a calling, a way of life. Emma found herself captivated, drawn to his earnestness and the vulnerability he revealed through his music. She could see the depth of his emotions, the way his dreams were woven into every word he spoke. Emma, usually reserved, surprised herself by opening up to Alex as well. She felt a connection, a sense of trust that she hadn't felt in a long time. It was as if his passion had unlocked something within her, allowing her to share her own dreams and aspirations. She shared her love for books, for the way they could transport you to different worlds and introduce you to a myriad of lives. Books had always been her escape, her way of exploring the world and understanding herself better. She spoke of her dream of one day editing a best-selling novel, of helping other writers find their voice. It was a dream that had been with her since she was a child, a dream that had grown and evolved over the years. As they talked, they discovered a shared love for the classics, debating the merits of Austen versus the Brontes. They laughed and argued, each defending their favorite authors with passion and wit. It was a conversation that could have gone on forever, each new topic leading to another. They delved into their favorite poets, their voices mingling in the quiet bookstore as they recited lines that had touched their souls. It was a moment of pure connection, a sharing of hearts and minds that left them both feeling enriched and inspired. The bookstore, with its quiet corners and endless shelves, had become a sanctuary for their budding relationship, a place where dreams and realities intertwined. Their paths crossed again the following week, this time with the sun shining brightly. The air was filled with the scent of blooming flowers, and the gentle breeze carried the laughter of children playing nearby. It was a perfect day, one that seemed to promise new beginnings and endless possibilities. Alex, spotting Emma behind the counter, flashed her a smile that made her heart skip a beat. His eyes sparkled with a warmth that seemed to reach out and envelop her, making her feel as if they were the only two people in the world. Emma couldn't help but return his smile, her cheeks flushing with a mixture of shyness and excitement. He had a worn copy of Pride and Prejudice tucked under his arm, a silent testament to their previous conversation. The book, with its dog-eared pages and faded cover, spoke of countless readings and a deep appreciation for its timeless story. It was a connection to the past, a bridge between their individual histories and the shared moments they were beginning to create. Their meetings at the bookstore became a regular occurrence, each encounter a welcome respite from the hustle and bustle of their lives. The bookstore, with its cozy corners and inviting atmosphere, became their sanctuary, a place where they could escape the demands of the outside world and simply be themselves. They would spend hours exploring the shelves, discovering new authors and revisiting old favorites, their conversations flowing effortlessly from one topic to the next. They would lose themselves in conversations about books and music, their shared passions weaving a tapestry of intimacy between them. They discussed the nuances of their favorite novels, debated the merits of different genres, and shared stories of how certain songs had shaped their lives. Each conversation brought them closer, revealing new layers of their personalities and deepening their connection. Sometimes Alex would bring his guitar to the bookstore, his fingers coaxing melodies from the strings as Emma listened with rapt attention. The music filled the air, creating a magical ambience that seemed to transport them to another world. Emma would close her eyes, letting the notes wash over her, feeling the emotions behind each chord and lyric. His music, a reflection of his soul, spoke of hope and heartbreak, of dreams chased and lessons learned. Each song was a window into his innermost thoughts and feelings, a way for him to express the things he couldn't put into words. Emma felt privileged to be a part of these moments, to witness the raw vulnerability and passion that Alex poured into his music. Emma, inspired by their conversations, found herself drawn to books she might have otherwise overlooked. She began to explore new genres and authors, discovering stories that resonated with her in unexpected ways. Each book became a new adventure, a journey into different worlds and perspectives that broadened her horizons and deepened her understanding of herself and others. She would leave hidden notes for Alex within the pages, sharing her thoughts and interpretations, her words a silent conversation between their hearts. These notes became a cherished ritual, a way for them to communicate their feelings and insights even when they were apart. Each note was a small treasure, a reminder of their growing bond and the special connection they shared. As the weeks turned into months, their relationship blossomed, nurtured by their shared love of books and music. They found joy in the simple moments, in the quiet companionship of reading side by side, in the laughter and conversation that flowed so naturally between them. The bookstore, once just a place of work and leisure, had become the backdrop to their love story, a testament to the power of connection and the magic of shared passions. Together, they discovered that the most beautiful stories are not just found within the pages of a book, but in the moments they shared, the memories they created, and the love that grew between them. Their story, like the books they cherished, was filled with twists and turns, with moments of joy and sorrow, but most importantly, it was a story they wrote together, one page at a time.